And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we'll talk about exciting changes at the library and preview Earth Day activities. But first, making headlines this week. Commuters have new reasons to cheer.
Yay!
Yay! County Executive Steve Schuh announced 2 transportation upgrades this week that will make mobility even easier. For folks traveling around Fort Meade, Arundel Mills, and BWI, there is the newly revamped Mills Ride that will take you to all of the important stops as well as to the MARC station. Here's a look at the route. This new configuration makes things a lot easier so you don't have to switch buses to get to and from the places that you want to go. And down south, we have the new South County Circulator. This bus or van will take you from Route 214 in Edgewater to several locations, including Galesville, Tracy's Landing, Lothian, and Harwood. County Executive Schuh rode the new Mills Ride on Thursday and had this to say about the transportation improvements.
Connecting people to jobs continues to be a challenge in our county because it's so large and economically diverse. We're urban, we're suburban, we're rural, all at the same time, and we have communities that are isolated either by geography or by water. But connecting people with skills to the jobs that are hiring new employees is crucial to maintaining our prosperity and driving economic growth here in Arundel County. So to help in that effort, I'm excited to announce that we propose funding in our upcoming budget for 2 newly expanded bus routes that will help get Anne Arundel County residents to Anne Arundel County jobs.
How about that, Dave? Easy peasy.
Right?
I like that South County Circulator.
I know, you can hit all the spots. Lothian.
Yeah.
And
Harwood. Deal.
And Tracy's Landing.
Yeah.
I mean, whoa.
Crazy.
No, it's awesome though, because, you know, for years, obviously people have been commuting in one way or another to Fort Meade and to BWI, but there's never been somebody taking a step back and going, well, how do we make this easy so people don't have to switch and they don't have to do all these different transfers and things like that.
Keep track of schedules and all of that.
Yep.
Very good.
So hopefully this will be very successful. My understanding is that people have already been riding it and that the signs are good so far. Shout out to Ramon Robinson. Good
Shout
job.
out,
Good
Ramon.
job, buddy. And the folks over at our transportation office. So we'll have to check that out.
Come on, ride the train.
Of course, knowing
And ride
us.
it. Woo,
Right,
woo.
it's not train though.
Come on, ride the bus.
There you go.
And ride it, beep, beep.
Yeah. So we are not going to do a pub crawl on the South County
No.
Circulator, right,
No,
Kristin?
No. No, of course not.
No, not us.
No.
Well, Kristin, we have more new stuff to talk about. More new stuff. Last week, the county broke ground on the new Annapolis Library, and this week, we opened the temporary location. Everyone was psyched, especially the kids. Here's what Library CEO Skip Auld had to say about the location at Monarch Academy.
Monarch families are self-motivated, critical thinkers, and lifelong learners. The library is all about encouraging exploration and lifelong learning. We are happy to build on the success of Monarch and provide services to people in the community at large.
Thank you, Skip. And we should also mention that Schuh read Dragons Love Tacos too. Here's a clip of that.
Listen to me, dragons. Don't freak out. No wonder they're upset. Dragons love tacos. Did you know that? Yeah, you knew that. Remember that time we had an awesome taco party with dragons? There were so many tacos, pant loads of tacos, underpant loads of tacos maybe there. Big tacos, little tacos, beef tacos, chicken tacos, and because of a totally honest mistake, I'm not blaming anyone here, there were also some spicy tacos. Yummy.
Good stuff there, Kristin.
I still haven't even read Dragons Love Tacos 1.
I know, right?
Ugh.
But I heard it was so good.
I'm so behind.
It was so good, they had to make Dragons Love Tacos too.
I mean, I love dragons and I love tacos.
I'm telling you what, the kids love that book.
I bet.
They loved it. Because you know you eat spicy things and you're a dragon, what happens?
Oh, yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, we're going to have more with Skip Auld later in the show. And
I really feel like this is a book that everyone should read, at least once in their life, no matter how old, no matter how young. Again,
the movie just doesn't do it justice.
Right.
You really have to read the book.
You have to read Dragons Love Tacos.
You know, the 5 pages of the book, they really took out the best parts in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They took too much license.
That's kind of what they always do
I hate when they do that.
I mean, I know that you exactly, it's the licensing. I just went through this with Ready Player One. I don't want to get all into it.
Yeah. No.
But man, did I get heated after I came out of that theater.
She didn't like it.
Well,
you liked it, but you didn't.
I liked
it. Was
it.
too far off of the.
I wish.
Same with Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's great, pretty true to the novels.
Okay.
I think my thing with the licensing, and obviously they couldn't include some things that were pop culture references with the book, is just I think I need a warning so that I watch the movie first and then go back and read the book.
Like a disclaimer that's like
This is nothing like the book.
long, and the guy's reading it super fast, and it's scrolling down.
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Okay.
Attention, Kristin Lagana. You should probably not see this in theaters, but you should probably, yeah, something like that. Well, Arundel United continues to take its show on the road to get people talking about race in a positive way. Most recently, the team was over at the Mountain Road Library with parents and teachers to talk about some controversial events at Chesapeake High School recently. Derek Matthews used the opportunity to talk about some words he thinks we just shouldn't use anymore. Here's Derek.
The N-word is a word that in the African American culture has become so fluid. We hear it on the songs, we see it in the videos, and it's common talk, Anthony, between sometimes African Americans just to use the word, right? But then your son says to me in school, well, Mr. Matthews, he uses it all the time. And as soon as I say it, it's a problem, right? Ergo, a potential fight may break out, hostilities burn. So what do we do about it? So I would proffer, and any of you can help me tackle this, the word needs to go away.
Well, I think it's definitely safe to say that word should be retired, Dave.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I always like to date myself in this show. Get it? Date myself.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But, you know, back in the day when I was in college, I guess, A Tribe Called Quest came out with a song that repeated
Tribe.
that word over and over and over and over again. And part of the line was some folks use it as a term of endearment. No, can we just stop? It would make things a little bit better if we that way it's easy, nobody gets confused. Just don't.
Plus, kids pick up everything.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well, if you want to learn more about Arundel United or watch Derek's new show, Real Talk, go to aacounty.org/united.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll talk to library CEO Skip Auld about all the exciting new things happening at our public libraries. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Well, welcome back. Joining us in the studio this week, we're delighted to have Mr. Skip Auld, who is the CEO for the County Library. Skip, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Great to be here. Thank you.
So exciting to have you. I always love having folks come on and talk about what's going on at the libraries, because I think we have some of the more interesting programs at our county libraries.
Well, our libraries there's just a tremendous amount happening in our library, so I look forward to this talk.
Yes, so are we. And what's very exciting right now is the new Annapolis Library that's getting ready to come up to fruition. Talk to me about that.
So the new Annapolis Library will be a 32,500 square foot library, replacing one that's about 20,000 square feet. So we're almost doubling the size of this library. It'll be built at the same place where the existing library is on West Street. We're just really excited. We had our groundbreaking recently, and after the groundbreaking, it's now asbestos removal and demolition of the building, and then just building this new library. People are going to love it.
So exciting.
Yeah.
And folks that are used to heading to Annapolis Library for their library needs, where can they go right now while it's being rebuilt?
So thanks to the support and financial support of the county executive and county council, we are going to have we have a temporary library at Monarch Academy off Gibraltar Avenue and in the old Capitol building. So that's open now. It's open from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. So there's a lot of things available at that location. So there's computers, there's books, there's CDs, and there's music, movies, all that kind of thing, and programming at that library. So that's one thing that we have open right now, just open.
That's Monarch Academy.
Monarch Academy. The next thing coming up is the Discoveries Library at Annapolis Mall. So that's really going to be exciting.
Now,
Oh my gosh,
really
Kristin like
cool.
lives at the mall.
I know.
Perfect.
So you can go to do your shopping, and then you can go to the library at the mall. I love it.
So we're going to have a grand opening on April 30th. That'll be 11 a.m. on that day. That's a Monday. So from that point on, we will have the library at the mall. That is going to be so cool. It's right next to Crate and Barrel, across from Under Armour, and again, a lot of things happening. There'll be a special focus there on programming. That library will be open 10 a.m. every day when the mall opens. We'll be there for the walkers and the stroller striders and all those groups there that are there even earlier than 10. But we'll open our doors at 10 a.m. each day. We'll be open Monday through Saturday. On Friday and Saturday, we stay open till 5, but the other days we'll be open till 9. So, yeah,
it's so exciting. I just think it's such a unique location, and I think it's going to draw a lot of crowds for you.
Well, this is the second library in Maryland that is in a mall, and there are a few libraries in malls around the country. We're hoping to see this become really successful, and hopefully it'll be beyond just the time that we're closed for the Annapolis building. So, yeah.
Well, we've heard so much about Annapolis. My friends up in North County they're hollering in my ear. They're saying, "What about Revere Beach? What's going on with Revere Beach?"
Yes,
Skip,
yes.
Tell us about that.
So again, with support from the county executive and county council, we have funding for the Revere Beach Library. That is in design right now. It's roughly a year behind both the design and the construction of that. So as that moves along, we'll be seeing the excitement build around Annapolis. Then soon after that will be Revere Beach. And we are hoping to get a Glen Burnie library into the county executive's budget, so we're looking to that. May 1st is when he releases that budget, so we're hoping we'll see that in there.
And exactly, so May 1st, coming soon. You told us about Glen Burnie and Revere Beach and Annapolis. What else are we going to see, and are you hoping to see in the budget?
Well, one of the great things that has happened over the past 2 years is the increase in the materials budget. There's been a pledge and action on a 3-year phase-in of an additional $1 million in our materials budget. So that has funded streaming services like Canopy, which is a great film streaming service. There's a lot of classic movies and independent movies, that kind of thing. That funding has also already been funding e-books, audiobooks, all that kind of thing, as well as print materials. So up until now, we have added $700,000 to that budget, and with this coming budget, there's pretty much a promise that we'll see the balance of that. It'll be $1 million added to it to make it a $4 million budget. That really helps us to provide all the things that people want in the libraries. There's so many different ways people use the libraries, so much of a need for a variety of resources. So it's not just the books and movies and music that you get on CD and DVD and all that. It is all these other things as well. So
great.
These are the things we're looking for. Yeah.
So aside from development, what is coming up program-wise, event-wise, that we can get excited about?
Well, there's just a whole lot of things that are happening. Odenton Library has 2 of them. On May 12th, which is a Saturday, we have, I think it's our 3rd annual Comic-Con. So
Fun.
that is
Kristen
really,
can wear her green ivy
yeah.
uniform.
Poison ivy, yeah.
Poison ivy.
So we have a costume contest on that day. We have we have a whole lot of vendors coming in. So Third Eye Comics and a variety of other.
Third Eye's great.
Yeah. So just a lot of things happening on that day. Later on in the summer, August the 18th at Arundel Library, we have the Human Library coming, which is kind of an amazing thing. We have basically, you can check out a person who is a human. We're saying you check out a book. It's a human book in this case. We are interviewing people right now to be those human books in the Human Library. We will have about 10 to 15 people who will be there to kind of get to know you. You learn about them. We put out a call to see who would like to kind of offer themselves up to be part of this Human Library. We had 56 people who are being interviewed now, and we'll select, as I said, about a dozen or so of those people. One of them, just to give you a little bit of the flavor of that, is Derek Matthews. So Derek he leads the county's Anne Arundel United program, and he kind of presents himself. He's a 6'3" African-American man, very kind of an imposing person, but you don't know about his background necessarily. He went to Key School, he's been in the military, he's been in the FBI. He is, as we said, leading
He's
this
been in
program.
my office.
He's been on the show.
Bugging me to write a
Yeah.
show.
We're going to have to go and check Derek out.
Yeah, you guys might have already checked him
If
out.
we
but
check someone out, what kind
gotta
of
be-
rights do we have to them?
Yeah.
you get to talk
And
to this
are there late
person.
fees? Are there late fees?
Right.
Actually, we have to think about that because we're always looking for ways to generate revenue.
Yes.
But basically what happens is we'll have stations set up there in the meeting room. You'll be able to go in. You'll have maybe 20 minutes with the person. It's a chance just to get to know somebody who's maybe a different type of person who you haven't really gotten to know. So we'll be advertising the books, these human books, and letting you know what they are. And we're expecting a lot of interest in this.
I love this.
Yeah,
What a
it's great.
unique concept. I
Yeah.
think it's great.
So these are a few of the things happening. So
So if people want to keep up to date, if they want to see what other programs, events are coming up, what's the best way to keep on that top of that information?
The best way is to go to our website, www.aacpl.net. And when you get there, go to the Happenings magazine. It's on the website. You could visit any of our libraries and pick up a print copy of that. But every quarter we produce Happenings magazine, and it's got about 1,000 programs because there's so many things happening every week in every one of our libraries. We have all the early literacy programming, we have book clubs, we have movie discussion groups, we have really just a lot of things. So that's the best way.
So exciting. Lots of
Yeah.
fun things in store, Skip. We thank you for everything that you're doing right now for the county and helping
you.
out with all the libraries and improving them and even possibly creating new ones. So that's very exciting for all of us here.
I want to give a little shout out to
Oh,
our staff
yes.
too.
Shout out.
Just because our staff at our libraries are what make everything possible. They're the reason people love our library so much. So here's to
Here's to
library
the
staff.
Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
And thank you so much for joining us on the show this
Thanks
week.
a
We'd
lot.
be delighted to have you back again.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
Welcome back. This Sunday is one of my favorite days of the year, Earth Day, and there's so many great events that have been happening around the county, which of course we've seen from the calendar. So we want to take you back to Davidsonville's Green Expo a few weeks ago to celebrate all things eco-friendly. County Executive Schuh was there and filed this report.
It's always a pleasure to be here at Davidsonville Elementary School. March is one of my favorite times of year because spring is in the air. You wouldn't know it today, it's kind of brisk, but it is. If you look at the trees, you'll see the little buds up there, so spring is just around the corner. And one of the great things that March brings every year is the Green Expo. And it's a great thing to see so many people participating in this wonderful event. I want to congratulate the Davidsonville Area Civic Association for organizing this event, and we always, of course, appreciate
our great scouting organizations. Thank you for being here today, too. This event is a partnership among the Davidsonville Area Civic Association, local businesses, and the environmental community. And we appreciate everyone who came together to make this happen. This is an opportunity for everyone to gain a greater appreciation for the environmental challenges that we face here in our community, and to meet environmental leaders and to learn about environmental services and products that can help us all live more sustainable lives here in Anne Arundel County. We're here at the booth for the Scenic Rivers Land Trust. This is Sarah Niebel, who's the easement outreach officer for the Scenic Rivers Land Trust. That raises an interesting question. What the heck is an easement? An easement is really important. It's actually one of our most important land preservation tools in Anne Arundel County. One way to preserve land is to buy it outright and just hold it in a preservation status. But that's extremely expensive, very uneconomical, and not really a viable long-term strategy to preserve our sensitive and rural lands. What we prefer to do is easements. Under an easement agreement, a landowner retains title to his or her property, but agrees for $1 payment to not develop that property. And that's what Sarah does, and that's what the Scenic Rivers Land Trust does. They meet with property owners, they get into these contractual arrangements where property owners agree to preserve their land without the immense expense of buying the land outright. It's far more economical and much better strategy than purchasing land for preservation. Sarah, how long have you been with Scenic Rivers Land Trust?
I've been there for 3 years.
Oh, so you know your way around at this point.
Just a little bit.
How's it going?
It's going great.
So tell us, how do you get an easement from a property owner? How does it work? You find them? How do you do it?
So we usually do some outreach, sending out some postcards, holding some landowner workshops, and so I explain kind of the ins and outs of a conservation easement that would go on their land. And so if anyone's interested, I'll meet with them personally, we'll go to their land, and then I'll just talk about how we can craft that easement to fit their land and what they want to happen to their property. And then I draft it up and we just do some due diligence, and then we sign the contract, and then it's there forever. And so we protect forests and wetlands in perpetuity. So it's a pretty good feeling once we sign the papers.
How many separate easements, how many acres have you protected so far?
So we've protected 2,700 so far, and we're working on a couple hundred more in the next.
2,700 acres?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's really great. Well, have a great day. Enjoy Green Expo.
Thanks.
So we're here at the Green Expo here in Davidsonville, and the primary organizer of this event is the Davidsonville Area Athletic Association, and its president is Chris Asher. I believe you're president of the organization, right?
Correct.
And thank you for your role as a leader of an important organization here in Anne Arundel County. Can you tell us the background and history of Green Expo? How did this get started, and how's it going?
Well, good question. We've been in the Davidsonville Civic Association has been in existence at least 30 years. I moved to Davidsonville in '84, and ultimately our civic association is a group of volunteers who are concerned about our community. So over the years we've developed some clout because we do have a couple thousand concerned citizens. Wow. We're the face of that, and when issues arise, often people come to us to make us aware, and we get involved when we see fit. But at the end of the day, our goal is to preserve the beauty and what we deem to be desirable about our area here in Davidsonville, and even more of South County. You may or may not be aware, but Harwood Civic Association recently folded for lack of interest, and so
I didn't know that. I'm sorry to
our
hear that.
geographic region, while not official, has expanded a bit to cover more of South County. And ultimately, I think we're environmentally oriented, although we cover a wide range of demographic from political affiliation to age. Ultimately, we all share the common goal of preserving the rural, attractive nature of our community. And to that end, when issues surface that we can be a spokesperson for, we'll take a stand and voice our opinion.
Well, that's great. Well, Davidsonville and South County are very special places. Those are the most rural and maritime parts of Anne Arundel County. And the reason they're such special places is because there's people like Chris Asher and the Davidsonville Area Civic Association that put in so much time and effort to protect these wonderful parts of our community.
Thank you, Steve. Earth Day, gotta love it.
I love Earth Day.
Don't you? Don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we know I do.
I know you do. You're like obsessed about it. You have all your foliage,
floral.
your foliage on your shirt today.
Spring is hopefully gonna stick around now, and all things are
The
popping
torture
up
this
new.
year. Can you believe it?
Yes, it's just, I mean, I'm ready for a new season. And speaking of things that are new, I understand we have some hearty congratulations for one Dave Abrams.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank you very much.
believe you just got a new house, correct?
That is correct. Well, not yet. I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, moving into a new house. And why just stop there? Why not have a new proposal to tag right on top of it? Congratulations
Thank you,
to
thank
Dave
you.
and Kat on their wedding engagement.
Absolutely,
So, do you want to tell me how you did it?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
So this will go down in lore of my family history because,
Okay.
you know, sometimes she didn't want to wait. She was like, why I gotta wait? And it was because
Woman
I
that
wanted,
knows what she wants. I can
Right.
get down with that.
I didn't want to wait. So I always wanted to, you know, figure out where we were going to be living before doing this because I thought it'd be a nice special place to do the proposal.
That's so
So
sweet.
we did that. We're moving to Annapolis and we were able to, I told her we were going to visit the house and we actually went down the street and
Just walk
I
around,
asked
get
her
to know the
there.
neighborhood.
Yep, at the community beach there. So it was very nice and thankfully she said yes.
Nice.
It was a little touch and go for a second, but
Really?
yeah, she
No,
said
she knew. She knew what she wanted.
She actually didn't let me finish saying what I told
Yes.
her. You know, it never goes right. It never goes right. When you have all these plans in your mind and you try to say the right things and then something happens, like you get stung by a bee in the eyelid or something like that, and it throws her. But it was
Random
great.
street marching band coming through, right, Will?
She's so, you know, we're trying to be just like Kristin and Will, but but we're very excited and you know, yeah.
I think it's
so
exciting.
It was great. It was great.
So-
We had a great day. The weather was perfect, and then the next day it was freezing cold and raining.
Yeah,
But
you
this
did
was
get
Saturday.
This
It was
was
perfect.
beautiful. You had
Perfect.
great weather. You did it all right. I know from the picture you had a lot of red roses and
Oh,
very
you're gonna make
sweet,
me
very
cry.
romantic.
Stop.
But wow, what an exciting year for Week in Review. We've had a marriage, we've had a proposal, we got a new house. So
All kinds of good stuff.
well, lots of congrats
The
from
only thing we haven't heard about is, you know,
a puppy.
a puppy.
A puppy.
We haven't heard about any puppies yet.
A puppy.
So we look forward to hearing about some puppies.
Puppies.
Puppies. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archive episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.